welcome to today's edition of The Transition Guy, where I want to cover a subject with you that has been really contentious all over the world, in the press, and that's ransomware. Now ransomware, the whole attack on all the world, was it 150 countries hit, over sort of 34,000 computers disabled. It was worldwide news. There was a public outrage. Everyone was really unhappy. Why? Is the question I ask myself. You see, ransomware happens day in, day out. Why was it such an issue that got everyone so involved? Why was everyone so animated about it? Was it the fact that some little crooked hackers in some sort of, we don't even know where they're from, they entered, they sort of infected your computer and they locked you out of your computer, and all of a sudden, because I can't use my computer, my business is paralyzed. Let's throw our arms up in the air and massively protest about it. The reality is this. Okay, the people that got affected by the ransomware, they didn't do their due diligence. They were not on top of their technology. In all fairness, they didn't have the protection in place. But do you honestly think that the hackers locking your computer is the only ransomware that you actually get hit with? That only they hold your business to hostage? You're kidding me, right? I can name you a number of occasions where your business is held to hostage day in, day out, and you do nothing about it, or you feel powerless to do something about it. I'll give you a great example, the banks. Now, 2007, 2008 marked the global crisis when it comes, they call it the Great Financial Crisis. We all suffered, granted. However, who took the most advantage out of that situation? I'll tell you who, the banks. And a lot of people watching this episode today, listening to this episode today, will be able to relate to this, the fact that the whole GFC, really what they did was it really weakened the business. And if a lot of the businesses were out there already weak, it made them further weak. And the ratios weren't right, you didn't have the money, you were put into special measures. Now I'd love to hear from you, from the companies out there that were in special measures, because that was the worst ransomware situation I have ever seen. So what would happen? The bank would say, well, we need to put you into special measures, which means you're going to have a special advisor come in to help you and keep an eye on you and help you with your business. Help you with your business? Are you freaking kidding me? Most of these bank managers that were the special measure squad never even ran a business in their life. They had no clue. They read a bank's version of a balance sheet, that was it. But tell you what would happen, you would have this special advisor that would offer you pointless information, couldn't give you much, but you would be charged extra for the facility that you currently had, because now you were in special measures. And on top of that, if you wanted to borrow money, it was extortionate. So the people that needed the money the most got charged the most. What kind of rubbish is that? Now if that isn't being held to ransom, what is? If that's not enough, let's look at suppliers. How often was your credit line cut? Where they said, okay, do you know what, your credit rating isn't there. Number one, you got to pay cash on delivery, or you had some really stupid terms, 4 or 5 days, and your credit limit was massively reduced, which means you couldn't trade anyway. That's not a partnership, that's being held to ransom. And then you had the customers. Hey, you had customers out where you had 30 days net, maybe invoicing, etc. They'd pay you 60, 90, 120 days. Are you being held to ransom there? Absolutely. What's the moral of the story? Just because your computer gets hacked, that's not the only way that's not the only method to hold you to ransom. There are far more. What you need to do is, business owners need to be far more aware of all the different areas in their business they are being held to ransom, and actually come up with a strategy. How am I going to free myself from this tyranny? How am I going to be freeing myself from this control, from this being held to ransom? Now, if you have been held to ransom, either by your banks, your supply chain, or your customer chain, I'd love to hear from you. So head over to Boolkah.com and get in contact. And remember, failing to learn is learning to fail.